Have you ever wondered if someone might be listening to you right now? Even in the safety of your own home, this isn't just a paranoid thought. For seniors, the places we once trusted most have quietly become tools of surveillance. And the danger isn't only about ads or companies knowing your habits. It can cost you money, expose your health secrets, and even strip away your independence without you realizing it. That's why you need to hear this today. I'm going to reveal 5 everyday places where you are being watched, tracked, and recorded, often without your knowledge. Some of these will sound familiar, but others may shake you to the core. And the last one on this list is the one that shocks even the most cautious seniors because it strikes at the very heart of your private life. Don't look away from this, because once you know where the eyes and ears really are, you'll finally be able to protect yourself. And before we dive in, please hit the like button so other seniors can protect themselves. 2. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you care about defending your privacy. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had a moment where you felt a device was listening to you when you never gave it permission? As we begin this journey, let's reflect on how technology has woven itself into our daily lives, promising convenience, but often at a hidden cost. For those of us over 60, privacy isn't just a buzzword. It's a cornerstone of the dignity we've earned through decades of experience. We've seen the world change from rotary phones to devices that fit in our pockets. And with that change comes new vulnerabilities. Today, we'll explore these 5 places not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge and simple actions. Imagine reclaiming that sense of security in your own space. Knowing you've taken steps to guard what matters most, it's about preserving the freedom to live on your terms, without unseen eyes peering in. As we move smoothly into the first place, consider how something as ordinary as your living room entertainment has evolved into a potential window into your world. Place 1. Your smart TV. Do you remember when televisions were simple? You turned a knob, adjusted the antenna, and that was it. Today's smart TVs look sleek, but behind that beautiful screen lies something very different. They are no longer just televisions. They are powerful computers that connect directly to the internet. And that connection means they can just as easily send information back as they can bring entertainment in. At first glance, this doesn't seem alarming. After all, what harm could it do if your TV knows which shows you enjoy? But the truth goes much deeper. Many modern TVs are quietly tracking every program you watch, how long you watch it, whether you pause, rewind, or switch channels, and even the time of day you usually sit down in front of the screen. That harmless information builds a profile of your life, your habits, and your routines. Let me give you an example. I knew a man named Franklin, a grandfather who loved watching classic films in the evenings from his home in Chicago. His TV seemed harmless, but what he didn't realize was that the built-in microphone was active by default. One night, while video chatting with his son, the device picked up more than just their voices. Weeks later, Franklin started noticing strange advertisements, some connected to private conversations he never imagined anyone else could hear. He thought his home was private. In reality, it was quietly listening. The unsettling truth is that many smart TVs come with microphones and cameras. Some are meant for voice commands, others for video calling, but they don't always stay off when you believe they are. Investigations have found that snippets of audio or images can be stored without the user's knowledge. Manufacturers will tell you it is for improving the experience. Yet the data may be sold to advertisers or end up in databases you never agreed to. For seniors, this risk is particularly serious. Think about the conversations you have in your living room. You might talk about health problems, medications, or even financial matters over the phone while sitting in front of that screen. If the privacy settings were never adjusted, there is a chance that information could be collected and stored. It is like having an uninvited guest in your living room, one who never leaves. So, what can you do? First, go into the settings menu and disable microphone and camera functions you don't use. Many TVs allow you to restrict data collection, but you must turn those features off manually. Second, cover the camera with a small slider or even a piece of tape if you never use it. Third, avoid discussing personal or financial details in front of the TV unless you are absolutely sure the settings are secure. Your television should be a source of enjoyment, not a source of surveillance. The living room is where families gather, share stories, and feel safe. Don't allow a piece of technology to turn it into a listening post. Take a few minutes to adjust your settings today. You may never know what information you've prevented from leaving your home, but trust me, you will sleep better knowing you acted. And while your television may be quietly recording what you do at home, there is another device far closer to you, one that never leaves your side that may be doing even more. This brings us gently to the next area of concern, where the convenience of modern communication comes with its own hidden watchers. Place 2. Your smartphone apps. Our phones have become more than just devices. They are lifelines for seniors especially. A smartphone is the way to stay in touch with children and grandchildren, to check the weather, to play a quick game, or even to track medications. It feels like a tool that gives us more freedom, but hidden behind many of those apps is a trade-off. Most people never realize they take small pieces of your privacy every time you use them. Think about this. Have you ever downloaded a free weather app or a simple flashlight app? They seem harmless, don't they? Yet, when you install them, they often ask for strange permissions. Why would a flashlight need access to your microphone? Why would a weather app need your location every single hour of every single day? The answer is simple. They aren't really free. You are paying with your information. I once met a woman named Eleanor, 74 years old, who loved playing card games on her phone from her apartment in Boston. She downloaded a free game, thinking it would be good for her memory. What she didn't know was that the app was constantly accessing her location and sharing it with advertisers. One day, she mentioned to a friend that she was thinking about buying new hats. Within hours, she saw hat ads on her phone, in her email, even while reading the news. She laughed at first, but then she realized something: her phone had been listening all along. Here's the truth. Thousands of apps are designed to track what you say, what you type, and even where you go. They feed this information into vast advertising networks, building a detailed picture of your habits, your health, and your finances. For seniors, this is more than an annoyance. That same information can make you a target for scams or identity theft. Imagine someone knowing your daily routine, your address, even your health concerns, all because of one simple app you thought was just a game. The problem isn't only advertising. Some apps are built with weak security, leaving doors wide open for hackers. A scammer doesn't need to break into your bank account directly. Sometimes they just follow the trail of information your apps are already leaking. Once they have your age, your habits, and your location, they can craft scams that feel personal and convincing. So, how do you protect yourself? Start with the apps you already have. Go into your settings and review which apps have permission to use your microphone, your camera, your contacts, or your location. Ask yourself, does this app really need that access? If not, turn it off. Next, delete apps you rarely use. Every extra app is another door into your private life. Finally, whenever you download something new, pause before you tap accept. Read the permissions. If they don't make sense, choose another app. Remember this: your smartphone should serve you, not the other way around. Don't let small conveniences steal pieces of your independence. Take control of your apps before they take control of you. And if you've ever been surprised by an ad that seemed to know exactly what you were talking about, type the number 2 in the comments. You'll be shocked at how many others have experienced the same thing. But apps aren't the only eyes on you. Even when you step outside your home, there are silent watchers tracking your every move, leading us naturally to the broader world beyond your doorstep. Place 3. Public security cameras. When you step outside your front door, You probably think of fresh air, freedom, and independence. What you may not realize is that the world outside is covered with more cameras than ever before. They are on traffic lights, inside grocery stores, at the entrance to banks, and even mounted on street poles you walk past without a second glance. Most seniors assume these cameras are there to keep us safe, and that is partly true, but the story doesn't end there. Cameras used to be simple. Grainy video, poor audio, and storage tapes that got erased after a few weeks. But today's surveillance is far more advanced. Many cameras are linked to powerful systems that don't just watch. They recognize, they can identify faces, connect them to databases, and even follow your movements across different locations. It means you could be recognized at the pharmacy, at the gas station, and again when you walk into church. All without ever being told it happened. Let me share a story. Thomas, a 76-year-old man from Texas, was surprised when he started receiving coupons in the mail for a diner he had only visited once. Curious, he asked the manager how they knew he was a repeat customer. The answer was unsettling. The store had partnered with a system that scanned customers' faces as they entered, even though Thomas never signed up for any loyalty program. His visit was recorded, linked to his face, and matched with marketing data. He didn't commit a crime, but his presence was logged and monetized. This is the reality seniors face today. Surveillance no longer asks for your permission. Simply walking into a building or strolling down the street can create a digital trail about your movements. And the problem goes deeper. Often the footage belongs to private companies or government agencies. And there are not always clear rules about how long it is stored or who can access it. That creates opportunities for mistakes, abuse, or even leaks of sensitive data for older adults who already feel their independence shrinking. The idea of being monitored during daily routines can feel invasive. You may want to enjoy a peaceful walk, pick up groceries, or meet a friend for lunch. But somewhere a system may be recording it, analyzing it, and storing it indefinitely. You don't see the cameras, but they see you. So, what can you do? First, be aware. The more you know about where cameras are, the less likely you are to be caught off guard. Second, avoid sharing personal details like reading sensitive documents or dictating financial information while in public spaces where cameras may also record audio. Third, when possible, choose stores or service providers that value transparency about how their security systems work. Some businesses now disclose their policies openly, and that kind of honesty matters. And remember, security cameras may have been built to protect, but they can also pry. You don't need to fear every lens, but you should understand the world you're walking into. Awareness is the first layer of defense. And while cameras can watch you from a distance, the next threat comes from much closer. It sits quietly in your kitchen or bedroom, disguised as a helpful companion. But in reality, it may be the most talkative spy of all, drawing us into the heart of your personal sanctuary. Place 4. Home assistant devices. For many seniors, smart home assistants like those from major tech companies have become more than just gadgets. They are companions. You can ask them for the weather, set reminders to take your pills, play your favorite music, or even call a loved one without lifting a finger. On the surface, it feels like magic. Finally, technology that makes life easier instead of harder. But here is the uncomfortable truth. These devices don't just wait for you to speak. They are always listening. Companies reassure you that assistants only wake up when you say their names. But reports and studies have shown something different. These devices often misinterpret sounds, record at the wrong times, and store those recordings in massive databases. Even more troubling, employees at these companies sometimes review short audio clips. They say it is for improving the system, but what it really means is that strangers may hear your private conversations. Take the example of Margaret, a 72-year-old widow who used her assistant to help manage her daily routine in her Seattle home. She loved asking it to play folk songs in the morning and remind her about her appointments. One evening, she mentioned her insurance details while sorting bills over the phone, not realizing the device was within earshot. Weeks later, she began receiving strange marketing calls related to insurance products. Whether it was a coincidence or not, she could never shake the feeling that her trusted device had betrayed her. The deeper issue is how connected these assistants are. They don't just stand alone. They link to other smart products in your home. Doorbells, thermostats, lighting systems, creating what experts call a data ecosystem. This means your daily habits from when you wake up to how often you leave the house can all be mapped into a profile. Even the way you order items online through the device is stored. Companies know not only what you buy, but how you think about buying it. For seniors, this is not just inconvenient, it is a complete loss of privacy in the one place that should feel sacred. Your home. Imagine discussing personal health concerns with your spouse or sharing private family matters with a grandchild while a device sits silently on the counter capturing fragments of every word. The risk isn't only that data could be misused, it's that your most private moments no longer belong to you alone. So, what can you do? Start by checking the settings in your device and disabling the option to save recordings. Many assistants allow you to delete stored audio history. Next, turn off the microphone when you aren't actively using the device. Most have a button for this. Place assistants away from areas where sensitive conversations happen, like near the phone or in the bedroom. And finally, consider whether you need these assistants at all. Convenience is tempting, but sometimes privacy is worth more. Your home should be your sanctuary, not a place where every word is collected and analyzed. These devices may make life easier, but they come with a price you might not be willing to pay. If you own one of these assistants, type the number 4 in the comments, so I know I'm not alone in worrying about this. And while assistants may be listening inside your house, there is one final place where the invasion of privacy cuts even deeper. It happens when you're alone with your thoughts, believing you are safe and unseen. Yet every question you type is quietly recorded forever, guiding us to the most intimate realm of all. Place 5. Your everyday online searches. If there is one place where most seniors feel completely safe, it is in front of a computer or tablet. Typing a question into the search bar, it feels private, almost like whispering a thought into the air. But the truth is far more unsettling. Your searches are among the most heavily monitored actions you take every single day. Every time you type something, best exercises for seniors, joint pain remedies, or affordable trips to California, that search is logged and linked to you. It connects to your IP address, your device, and often your personal identity. What feels like a private question is actually another entry in a digital diary that never disappears. Let me give you a story. Edward, 78, was concerned about fatigue issues. Late at night, he searched for best supplements for energy in older adults. Within days, his screen filled with ads for costly vitamins, wonder treatments, and even pitches from dubious health centers. None of these reached him by accident. His private search had been tracked, stored, and sold to companies eager to profit from his worries. He believed he was confiding in his computer. In reality, he was confiding in a marketplace. Search engines don't just save what you type. They analyze how you search, how long you pause before clicking, which result you choose, how far you scroll, and when you return to try again. These micro-actions, when pieced together, create a portrait of your thoughts. Are you anxious? Are you worried about finances? Are you comparing medical options? The algorithms know. For seniors, this opens a dangerous door. Sensitive searches about health, money, or even retirement planning can trigger aggressive marketing. Scam companies purchase this data to target older adults directly with fraudulent offers. In other words, your most private questions can become the very bait that scammers use against you. So, what can you do? Start by recognizing that search bars are not private journals. Use search engines that prioritize privacy. ones that do not track your history for profit. Clear your browsing history regularly and adjust your browser settings to limit data collection. Avoid typing extremely sensitive questions on shared devices or in public places where cookies and trackers are harder to control. And whenever you see an ad that seems to read your mind, take it as a warning. It may not be magic, it may be surveillance. Think about it this way. Your online searches are diary entries, but instead of being locked in a drawer, they are copied, distributed, and sold to strangers across the world. Once you understand that, you can take steps to guard your digital diary more carefully. Your questions, your worries, and your curiosity belong to you alone. Don't give them away so easily. And as we reach the end of this journey, we've now uncovered all 5 places: your television, your apps, public cameras, your home assistant, and your online searches. Each one reveals how fragile privacy has become, but knowing is the first step to taking back control. This flows us into some final reflections on what we've learned and how to move forward with confidence. Final thought. We have walked through 5 places where your privacy is most at risk: your television, your smartphone apps, the cameras in public, your home assistants, and even the search bar you trust with your deepest questions. Each one feels ordinary, part of daily life, but each one can quietly collect details about who you are, what you value, and even what you fear. That reality may feel overwhelming, but I want you to hear this clearly. You are not powerless. Awareness is the first defense. Every time you adjust a setting, turn off a microphone, delete an unnecessary app, or choose a safer way to search, you take back a piece of your independence. Small choices add up to powerful protection. Privacy is not just about data for seniors. It is about dignity, trust, and freedom. When someone takes your information without asking, they are not only invading your digital life, they are stepping into the private spaces of your heart and home, and you deserve better than that. So, tonight, take one small step. Check the privacy settings on your TV. Review the permissions on your phone. Ask yourself if the convenience of a device is worth the cost of giving away your voice. None of us can stop every form of surveillance, but we can choose not to make it easy. If this message spoke to you, please hit like so more seniors can protect themselves. 2. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss future advice. And share this video with someone you love. And in the comments, let me know what surprised you most today. Reading your stories not only encourages me, but it also helps others see they are not alone. Thank you for joining me, and remember, your privacy is worth protecting always. To expand on this, consider how these insights tie into the broader tapestry of life after 60. We've earned our wisdom through years of navigating changes, and this digital age is just another chapter. By sharing these tips, we're not dwelling on fears but building resilience. Perhaps add a moment to reflect on a time when privacy felt absolute, like writing letters by hand or chatting on a landline without echoes of data trails. Today, with a few mindful adjustments, we can recapture some of that peace. If you've implemented any of these steps already, comment below with what worked for you. It could inspire others. Let's keep the conversation going, because together, we safeguard not just our data, but our shared sense of security and autonomy.